We live. We gonna let everybody get in here for a second, then we'll start recording.
Okay, cool. Makes sense. Oh, here you go before I knock it over.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Might as well leave it right here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll have to go over there and look at that a little bit.
Mm-hmm. All right, I guess I can put it on my Facebook. I'm going live.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, brother.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Let me get the link.
I'm gonna take this off.
Oh shit.
Ain't got nobody in there yet.
I started to record, bro.
Trying to make sure. Can't hear nothing. Yeah. Whew. Back up in this thing. Happy New Year to me. It's your boy Colin Parshawn. He with a little paint, little seasoning with some reason.
Happy New Year, brother.
I appreciate that, brother.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate that. Y'all know who these fellas is, but go on, let them tell the people who he is.
Oh yeah, this is Kurt. Back in the house. I apologize. I was trying to get everybody to go to YouTube to watch the show, but I'm Kurt
Yeah,
from Detroit.
from Detroit. We see that on your shirt, brother.
What up, Joe? It's the 18th. I'm in the building.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. A whole lot to talk about. We're going to let Kurt continue to get people in here. You're doing a good thing, though. What we need you to do is go to Soundproof Hunger on YouTube, subscribe, like, share it. If you watch it right now, go on and share this on your personal page, on your Facebook, on your Instagram. Bring the people in here. We're going to have a good time, man. Yeah. So, like I said, Happy New Year to me. My birthday just passed.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I had a good time.
44.
44 on them things. 44 on them things. I went out of town. I went to Mexico. Usually when I travel to places like that, it humbles me. And I tell you why it humbles me is because when I see how the people live in those areas that predominantly strive off of tourism, the regular people don't live as well as we do. And so when you get to see their lives and how they appreciate everything much more than we do, it humbles me. I went to where I was staying. It was a small beach on the end. And every night I sat on the balcony and I would see cars pull up and families jump out the cars and walk down to the end. So one night I was like, man, I'm going to see what's going on.
Right.
So I walked down there and literally they just come out there at the end of the night. Their families, they get on the beach, they bring the guitars, their beers, they smoke, whatever they doing, and they just releasing they just
wind down.
having
They
a good
wind down
time,
for the
winding
night.
down,
Yeah.
man. I even saw some of the resort workers out there in their uniforms.
yeah.
They go right there and they just hang
Let me
out.
tell you what happened
Yeah.
over here at
And
426.
They just having a good time, man. But it's real humbling, man. I enjoyed myself, but I implore everybody, get a passport, get out of the country, and see more than what you're used to. It brings a lot to look at other people's lives outside of ours, what we're used to seeing. So yeah, that's just one of the things I like to bring out when
Yeah, it's all good.
I get out there. But Kurt, what's been going on with you, brother? It's good to have you back up in.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate the the invite. I'm on vacation from work, so I take the whole month off. And people always ask me, what are you going to do for the whole month? I said, act like I'm retired. I've been doing that. I'm like, damn, that's how I feel to be retired. I just wake up, get dressed, and that's it.
A month, that's a long time, bro.
Yeah, see, it's a long time to pretend.
my body be hurting when I come back to work. If I
Yeah,
take a week
yeah,
off, so take a month off.
Month off. Mm.
Ooh,
That's a long motherfucker.
that's a long time.
But try it. Try it. Try it. You're gonna love it.
No, I'll be trying to look for another job then. Be honest, I'll be like, man, why am I here still?
Think about it. You're getting paid, just sit down like you retired, you know.
That's real. That's real. Let's get cracking.
All right.
He ready to jump right in.
Yeah, let's get cracking.
Antsy over there.
Yeah.
Let's start with the Roe versus Wade.
Yeah.
Recently and it's still speculation, but it leaked. When was the last time we got
It was like a practice vote or some shit.
a leak to come out of the White House? They said that they were going to break down, overrule Roe versus Wade, which has been in place since 1973, which is the rights for women to have an abortion. So even with them saying the thing that they put out there was saying that the states themselves would be able to decide whether it's lawful or unlawful. And of course, the good old Southern Belt, Bible Belt line is on the red, meaning that you would have to go somewhere else to get an abortion. Let's jump into that.
Yeah. I used to be pro woman's choice, and I'm still pro choice. But now that I'm getting a little older, I'm starting to see, has abortion, well, put it this way, I'm trying to have a neutral point of view about abortion, because people are using abortion like contraceptive. I had a friend that had he had a whole lot of, when I say he, I mean him and his girl had abortions constantly, and I'm like, man. So they finally had a son, and it was a beautiful thing. And but to get to my point is that I'm on the fence when it comes to abortion.
I'm gonna let you go.
I ain't gonna say I'm on the fence. I think a woman should be able to decide what she does with her body. I never want them to lose that right, because a lot of situations happen. You go into these lustful relationships, stick the head in. It's probably still the worst thing I probably ever heard in life.
Yeah.
Cause I ain't sticking the head in. I'm good. But responsibility is lacking, because abortion, especially in the black community, is very high. Minorities in general is very high. I never want a person to lose the right to make a decision with their bodies. But that's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? A man, especially coming from the mouth of a man, I don't think a man should be able to determine what a woman should do with her body. I don't think we sit in that chair like that. Are you right in some instances that the lack of people are using it like, yo, at the end of the day we can just get rid of it. That's real. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with that in your afterlife. If that's what you believe in. I just think while we here, let's just not lose the right. I just hope people can get better as far as the choices they make and who they lay down with, and how they lay down with them. I'm still an advocate. You know what I'm saying? Putting on rebels. That's part of life. If you don't plan on, if you don't want no kids, you gotta make the decisions without.
Yeah.
We talked about on the one show. You gotta make it with the big head, not the little big head.
Right.
It does feel good,
Yeah.
but it could change your life. And if you're not ready for that life change, then just be more responsible. I don't want to hear that shit. It's hard to put a condom on. No, it ain't.
Right.
Slide that motherfucker on. Get back in there and get your pound game on.
Yeah. But the question is that how is it two people's decision or just one person's decision? Because we did it together.
This what I say for a man. At the point she opened her legs and you decided to slide in there without that on, you putting it out. You putting yourself at risk to she saying she want to keep it. And I don't mean putting at risk as in malice. I'm just saying you didn't have to slide your dick in because she opened her legs or she got on top of you. You didn't have to. So at that point, whatever comes from that, you kind of deserve that. I don't believe in men getting raped. I know it's real. I don't believe it at all.
But she can change it. But it's safe to say she can change her man. Like, say for instance, y'all agree, which is this is hypothetical. Let's say y'all agreed to
not have
To
kids.
abort.
not have kids,
Right.
yeah.
And then
Not
all of a-
have kids, and
then
now
all of
she
a sudden,
changed
I
her
don't
mind.
believe in that.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make the decision of just turn over your rights. You can't make that. You have it's options out here.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But the problem with us is nobody wants to make those.
Okay, I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Look, go ahead.
Before
I love Kurt.
before abortion,
Okay,
a woman had to be very careful
Absolutely.
who she lay down with
absolutely.
because she didn't have that choice no more.
Right.
And now that she has that choice, I'm not saying women are,
You're not saying they're vindictive. I get what you're saying.
but when that situation is there where that's not an option, they become more careful with their decisions. Well, men become more careful too.
That's not that. I don't think that because the options for men really is not there now. A woman makes the final decision on what she wants to do.
Right.
So the option for a man is not really, he doesn't really have that option to be like, I don't want it. And she just said, oh, okay. That's really not real.
Even in the scenario you saying if she changed her mind at the end, you already did your part.
Like you did.
So
the
if she
dude.
made that decision, now you got to go for the ride. Like you said, you can either sign over the rights or she can take you through the mud. But you done had the kid.
Like I just, as a grown man, we all, he just turned 44. I'm 44. I think you 46.
48.
48.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's you can't tell me at this age if you stick your dick in somebody, you didn't know it was a possibility that you could end up with a child at the end of that.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't just let men say, oh man, she knew I ain't want no kids. If you know you ain't want no goddamn kids, why you ain't put the condom?
Right. Or even, I would take it even further to say have sex.
That's if why have sex
Why
with
even
somebody
have
you don't want no
sex
kids
if you
with?
ain't gonna-
Yeah.
You know, one thing I will say about me, if I lay down with a woman, 9 times out of 10, in my mind, I already know she get pregnant. Hey, I did that. I did
I'm not
that.
disputing.
I don't believe in like one night stands and shit like that because
Right.
it's just to me, my luck ain't that good.
You know what's amazing? I'm gonna sprinkle some on this conversation. Now, women should be in control of her body or her decision to have a baby.
Okay,
But let's look at some of the things men are responsible for.
let's go.
It seems like we should be responsible for civilization,
We play a part.
a big part.
I agree with that.
And one of those parts is creating laws and keeping society together.
Right.
And we at the point that we got to figure out, not we, I mean just the
It has
people
to
in
be.
charge
Yeah.
have to say, we got to figure out at what point society moves forward now with abortion or not abortion.
Well, the problem with that is the people that are making these laws are old white men
That got elected.
that got elected. But
people-
that's
'cause
what
people
it
didn't go.
goes down. And they stay in there forever.
And if you're in Georgia, the polls are
The
open.
polls
early.
are open right now.
So let's
Let's
go
do
ahead.
that.
Yeah.
But those laws that have been put in place, these guys they're not living these. None of them affect them outside of anything that has to do with money. But something as such as Roe versus Wade,
You know what? You made a point, and he just made a point too. The men that's decided. You remember how you said like back in the days, like women would be more careful because this wasn't an option. The men that are in these offices come from them days.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't look at it the way
point.
you know this generation, the one behind them. They don't look at it the same way. They looking at it like you got her pregnant, you got to take care of it. Now. We ain't saying they was there for their families because, you know, Papa Was a Rolling Stone was just a song made by black men, but that shit in every culture.
oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Of
course.
So with that being said is I just look at it as, like you said, men are responsible for populating, a major part of populating the world. I get it. Men are also responsible for being leaders in this world and making the decisions as a leader.
Civilizing it.
Absolutely. Because if you crazy, I'm talking about mentally gone.
course you
I don't want no, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't even want you reproducing, bro. I believe in trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Right.
like to add on what you were saying is that do you believe that we are at this age right now that we are elders right now?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I tell everybody that we feel so young, and because believe it or not, in the black communities, our elders are gone because we don't feel like it.
Absolutely.
Like we're elders, you know,
We're,
like we're making decisions.
we're a different sort. We're a different sort.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because guess what? We listen to the same music our kids listen to.
I don't.
No.
But
No. I mean the same genre.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But it was
Absolutely.
created by us.
It's created by us.
It was created by us.
Yes,
So
yes.
I'm glad you said that because I don't think that we take on that title.
That mantle, yeah.
And when you take that on, you have to act in that way. I think a lot of us, it's a lot of men our age that are still competing with these younger boys. You know what I mean? Clothing, the music, just the way they move in life.
Yes.
They're still in competition with some of these younger boys because just like the place I live in is bigger than that place that I grew up in. But my dad isn't coming around trying to say, well, let me get a bigger house than you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You supposed to.
Shout out to Frizzle. Shout out to Frizzle.
Shout out, Dad.
Yeah.
They don't do that. Whereas it's still people out here now, guys, men and women, that feel like they still in competition with their kids. Whereas you let them flourish on their own, let them do their own thing. But as an elder, if I take on that elder, I will show you, I will tell you what you can and what you need to do and what you don't need to do. And even when you fall, I'm still going to be there to push you through.
Let me ask you a question. You say we're elders.
Mm-hmm.
Did we get the lessons from our elders that we supposed to get, a lot of us? Because, you know, the ones that came before us, and matter of fact, the ones that came before us, the ones that came before them, the households were a little more complete than versus the households that, you know, not you know, any of us might have grown up in. I don't know everybody's, you know, upbringing, but so the generation coming now, they're living off of what we teach them.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the trauma that I was referring to, is that you learn from what was before you. The elders from the 50s are different from the ones you would say in the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And then these 80 cats, you know, they, I mean, they
thing.
dealt with a whole nother thing.
Whole
You know what I'm
nother list,
saying?
yeah.
Believe it or not, Jay-Z spoke on this. He said that the family, the black family dynamic was broken because of drugs or crack. When crack hit, for example, Jay-Z said that each stage in the family showed you what to look forward to. So you had your big brother, you had to look forward to your big brother's life.
Right.
Your big brother had to
Absolutely.
look forward to his younger uncle.
Right. Okay.
Younger uncle had just on and on.
Right. Somebody
Where-
to look up.
Remember that from Dead Prez when they were sitting at the table?
Yeah.
And he said, "What you gonna do after high school? You gonna get a job like me?" He was like you.
Like you.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I think I do.
But that was his older brother. You know,
Exactly.
so what you mean? I understand what you're saying when you say
So
that.
when crack hit, young men was disrespecting their uncles, their
Absolutely.
older brothers.
Absolutely.
So the dynamic was thrown off a little bit. Just in my opinion, the dynamics was thrown off. And that said, but to your point, is that now we got to rebuild it how we think is the best.
Right.
And that's my thing about
The Roe versus Wade.
Zach. I'm glad you brought me back. I was like, well,
Yeah, because I know I
get
see
out
them
there.
eyes and shit. It was like, hold on.
Yeah, wait a minute, get Kurt back. But
Where he going?
Yeah. So, but to, come back is that Roe versus Wade. We got to look at what happened since Roe versus Wade.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? If things got worse, then we got to change it. But if things got better, we got to keep it. So the question is, things got better or worse?
Let me ask you this. Oh, go ahead. Sean.
I haven't looked at the statistics myself,
Right.
but I watched Whoopi Goldberg on The View. They commented about it, and one of the hosts, she said that abortion has been down 30% in the last 10 years, and she said also that if you look at most of the people that get abortion now, is usually people that are, what does she say? She put it in the stance of, you don't know if this person is having an abortion because they are, she said most of them already have kids. And number two, she said them getting an abortion probably would prevent them from putting more financial strain on their lives.
Right.
and things of that nature. So it's a lot of factors that go into why, I think it should stay in place.
Let's take that what you just said. You said abortion's down. How much?
I think she said 30%. I want to go back. Somebody correct me, look it up.
Okay, so you look at the generations after us. They're more responsible when it comes to things like that because they're in the business of making money. So they're not going to put any, they're so selfish, which is not a bad thing in this,
Right.
that they want to be in a better place before. Because I talk to in a better place before they bring a child in this world. I talk to a lot of young guys at the job, and that's when they say, you got kids? They be like, no, but these guys be 30 years old. And they be like, nah, I ain't financially set to where I bring a kid in this world, which is a great thing that you understand that because I hate to say it like this, a lot of us were brought in during poverty. So that's the trauma that you inherit coming out, before you even hit the earth because the stress on your parents, that comes down to you. So when you come out, you already have a stress with that.
Biologically.
If you as your world grows, as your world grows, if you're visually seeing it, I can't get. That's still, you were born into poverty. A lot of us don't set up college funds or just set up ways to make it easier for us in the 9 months that we have to get ready for this kid. Because you know why? You still trying to keep up the bills of today's life. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, like I can understand how the number comes down. It's so many contraceptives and things like that. And on top of that, you got this Plan B pill. Abortions happen a lot every day.
They testing one for men right now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, just to keep it a buck. Back in the days, a lot of men wouldn't go get tied up and shit. They did, they wouldn't tell you. Nah, man, it's everywhere. Like, men are saying, yo, I'm done having kids.
Yeah.
Let me go get this thing tied up. Now I can be out here buck wild. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Buck Wild brothers. You know what I'm saying? But these options wasn't available back then.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So now that it's affordable to us, because a lot of that shit, it was happening, it just wasn't affordable.
Right. Yeah.
Now that we can get to it, a lot of people taking them steps, man. Now, are they doing it the right way? Because a lot of cats be married. That's they ain't got the tube tied. They ain't saying nothing to nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, at the end of the day, if that's preventing you from making a decision that's going to change your life that you're not ready for, then that's your business.
Now, is black poor different from any other poor? Because just a quick side note, you would see a family cross the Rio Grande from Mexico with just a satchel on their back, and they come to America and make it happen. Don't even speak the language, and from there they realize is that they don't need a two income household. They just need one person, one man to work hard for his family. But so for somehow, I think we, like for instance, my ex-wife said when we was married, she said, I want my kid to have their own room.
Okay.
I'm like, I only had my own room because I was the only boy. You know what I'm saying? My sister stayed the same.
I didn't have one. Growing up, me and my brother was in the same room the whole time.
You know what I'm
Damn,
saying?
I know you was getting bullied.
All the time.
Big C like what, 6'4"?
6'8". 6'8".
That's my bike, punk.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But yeah. That's just a quick side note. I hate to break that in, but
I think poor is a thing of want.
true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your desires? Because there's people that can make 200,000 that feel like, yo, I'm struggling. Because that's not the end game for them. That's not the ceiling that they set for themselves.
And that's one of the things that brought.
So to answer your question, I don't think that's a color issue. I think that's an individual thing of what you want. Because like we've talked about on the show a million times, a lot of people are not built to be entrepreneurs. Getting a great lump sum of money is not their thing. So where somebody that's striving to get these things might look at them like they struggling, the people that's actually living that life, they like, yo, I'm wonderful. Because money is not the thing that they need to be happy.
This is true.
They need it to survive. They don't need it to be happy. That's where people, I think, mess up. It's a difference with that.
That's a great one. I also think that America, with the U.S., has done a great job with our mental state in saying that we have to, in order to be counted for or
Right.
to be valued,
To feel important.
I have to have A, B, and C. And like you said, to the point, when you deal with a lot of people like the Mexicans and a lot of Latinos that come up here, it's 12 of them in the house, and 8 of them work the same job together. So all of that money is coming right back into that house. You know what I mean? Where we are, first off, as black people, we already feel like we're already marginalized. So that's already the one thing they do on our mind from the get-go. So we already feel like we got to do just as much or better than the white man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's just how it's already put in place because the way that everything is lined up. Then they have laws to corroborate that. You know,
that's real.
That put us in that place. So for us, it's hard. But even it's funny you said that because even when we was down there, and my girl was like, I said, look at them so happy. They doing these jobs.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I've never been the type to say, well, they're taking our jobs. No, they're not. They doing stuff that you feel like you too good to do anyway.
When we was in South Africa, and I asked a young man, I said, you ever want to go to the United States? He said, absolutely not. Now, I'm looking at this dude's feet like, yo, I don't know if it's United States, but you need to go to somebody's state. You know what I'm saying? But he like,
they be happy,
you know what he said though? It's something that it stick with me to this day. He said, everything I need is right here. So he in his world, he ain't missing nothing. No, he might not have the luxury of a room full of shoes and all that nonsense, but he said everything I need is here. So it's inside him.
Right.
That's where a lot of us we got the message. It just didn't translate to us right when it came to difference between being happy. We took the money aspect of it, didn't your soul, because there's a lot of rich people whose souls is rotten.
Real rotten.
You know what I'm saying? But that's on something else. Let's keep it going.
No, you know what's amazing is that y'all both made points, but he made one point about that made me think about. Okay, have you ever seen the movie They Live back in the day?
I did.
I didn't see that.
I think it's real now. I think it's real now. Well, Roddy Piper.
Roddy Piper.
Wow, no, I definitely didn't see it.
So where you put some glasses on and you was able to see the alien.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me, and this is why I'm bringing it up. For me, that's how Kevin Samuels was. To the next subject.
Okay.
Is that
We moving on.
Great
to,
segue.
Kevin Samuels.
Great segue.
You got the juice. Let's go, Kurt.
And for me, my first interaction with that type of teaching was not with Kevin Samuels. It was with Sherzad Ali, a woman back on Donahue.
I know
that was my first.
Yeah. Black
and I was
jacket.
like, nah, she's too much.
It's not the definition of a black man. She wrote a book.
It's called The Handbook to the Black Woman.
That's what it is. Yeah,
the Gab book, something like that.
It's a book that they tried to take out of publishing, but it's like $100 or something.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They hated her like they hate Kevin right now. And Kevin said, I got my motivation from her. Not all of it, but from her.
She says the same thing.
Right.
You see clips of, you might not know who she is, but
I saw the clips.
You see the clips of her everywhere. And I'm like, yo, this was the 70s. She was on Donahue. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. And she broke it down.
Cornel West was sitting across from her, and he was going and she was eating them up.
Yeah.
Eating them up.
And what's another Van Zant? She got up. She was in the audience and said something.
Yeah.
And not everybody, but she has changed her tune. And I was saying how, for him, well, back then I was against her because I didn't know no better. I didn't have experience. But now that I got experience and that message came back around to me, I'm like,
I'm glad you said that.
oh shit.
Like if we were here, if we was getting this information when we was in our 20s, do you think we would receive it the same way we receive it now?
Not without the proper guidance.
Yeah.
Or experience or living life. And to me, it was like a pair of glasses being put on me. And one of the things he said that was amazing to me is that he would ask women, can you imagine dating a man making $50,000 a year? And they were like, nah, you know what I'm saying? But that's more than the average man make of any race in America. And as we know, we make more than that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for my business out there.
I didn't say how much.
I'm just saying. I make 50,000. I don't know what Kurt talking about. I make 50. I don't know what Kurt talking about.
And that said, man, the black females act like that ain't shit. And to make $100,000, you know how much energy you got to make $100,000?
It's a lot.
It's a lot of energy. And people are like, "Oh, you should be making that." You know, like.
Let me say this.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Not to cut you. At a job, I think it's hard to make $100,000.
Oh, yeah, okay, I agree.
At a career,
A career being what? I mean, for example,
Lawyer.
something
Doctor.
that you had to go to school to get.
Yeah. Some of
Something
you had
that
to go 4+
yeah,
years
It's a little
to
different.
get.
okay,
You know
but
what
the
I'm
average man don't have a career.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's 100,000 is obtainable by everybody at this table. Actually, okay,
We know. So be quiet.
100,000.
Don't put our business out there.
Okay, but
Don't put our business out there.
in the eye of a lot of people, and maybe we have to look at it like this: a lot of us might be behind and think of 100,000 as a great deal of money, because 100,000 in this day and age, you really just you comfortable, but you still going to work every day.
Yeah.
You know what it depends on your lifestyle. Depends on your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So when you talking 50, I'm gonna be honest. If you ask me that same question, like, could I imagine myself dating a woman making 50,000? The first thing I think of is like Wendy's, McDonald's.
No, she ain't making 50,000.
I'm just saying, and I'm not.
He's saying that's his thought process.
And that'd be my thought process. And I'm not knocking the job because you're not out here stealing and robbing. You're not doing none of that.
Right.
But 50,000, I gotta really like you.
Believe it or not, I prefer my wife not to work at all.
That's real. But it's some men like that. I just
my
say one of them.
my second wife didn't work.
Yeah.
Right.
You ain't married no more, Kurt.
Okay.
Right. No. You're correct because she couldn't adjust to what she gonna do every day. She wasn't on board.
Right.
I mean, not to be.
Don't put your yeah.
No. I'm saying not to be typical,
Right.
but I would come home and she would just be
Sitting
a
there.
lost dog.
We're not gonna use the word dog. We're gonna say she just didn't know.
Damn, I said that.
She didn't have the
Oh
direction
my
of
God.
what to do.
I apologize.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say dog.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
But I was just saying in general.
I get what you're saying, but you
But
know,
it was like she was always taught to not need a man. So to need me, not need me, but to be
she depended
in
on
concert.
you. She depended on you. Yeah.
And she felt like, no, I don't like this shit.
She's not brought up into that.
And that's the thing. We made ends meet on one income, and we could have shot for the stars, man. Because she wasn't tied to a job like most women are now.
That's
tied to one.
Right. It's they part of the relationship, the union.
But guess what? Now mind you, I got this attitude from a Kevin Samuels. Who want a woman working for another man?
Let me tell you something.
We so used to it, am I right?
Yeah, and this to kind of go into what you were saying. I want my woman to work. Bottom line, that's just me. But to go back even further, the 50,000 versus. I remember I had this question. I had this conversation with a young lady, and I asked her. I said, "Would you date a guy that makes 100,000, but he works a lot, or somebody?" And then I put up variables to it. I said, "This guy makes 100,000. He has a $300,000 house. He has a nice car. All these things. Would you date him, or would you date the guy that has a house paid off?
Right.
It's good enough for y'all to live in.
Right.
He makes 50,000.
Right.
He has a car that goes back and forth. You know, she said she wanted the guy with the 300. You know, the 100,000 and the nice house and the nice car. I think people get caught up in the numbers as opposed to the long game. And I think that's just, and I'm not saying that's right or wrong. Where I'm from, pay your stuff off is yours. It's not about what you bring in, it's what you putting out. The less you put out, the more you can open up in other avenues. And I think people get caught up in those big numbers versus what you already have in place.
Mm-hmm.
It's about appreciation with that. With the scenario, it's just about appreciation. I just think that, like Kurt said, you didn't want your lady to work at all, and that's a fine decision. I hope you find the next one and you feel the same way.
No doubt.
My mother went to work. I watched my mother work most of her life. I see what it did to her. Do I want to a wife to go through that? No. Do I want her to have dreams to do something? Yes. You might not go to work for the man if we still roll around with that shit.
No doubt. No,
But-
I see what you're saying.
If you have find another avenue for you to make money, then absolutely pursue that. You know, but if you can't sleep comfortably knowing that this is what I provide with the money I make, when I'm able to spend quality time at home with the kids, whatever, and still keep this household together off my one income, yeah, get your ass a job.
Yeah.
Right.
I see a lot of quotes out here where women want men. Well, he got to do what he got to do to get it. Nah, he ain't got to. He ain't got to do nothing.
You can drop off that weight.
Like that's that. You know,
Drop that weight out.
it's a guy. It's a guy there. Look, Kurt, and I get it. You provider. I get it. You provider of a household, lights. You know what I'm saying? Food, heat, things like that. These are you're a provider of necessities. That's just how I see it. If somebody might disagree with me, I'm cool with that. I'm a provider of necessities. All that other shit,
That's on you.
you gotta get. Hey man,
Well,
that's just me.
I'm glad you said that because somebody gave me the beautiful idea is have your woman work for you or your wife, my fault, have your wife work for you. Because a black woman is the most educated woman now out here,
Why
right?
can't she? That's what I'm saying. Why can't she work for herself?
Well,
Or us.
I apologize. When I say me, I mean for the family.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm head of the family, you know, stuff
All
like that.
right.
I apologize, but you got to point that. You know,
Yeah, I want. They be killing you, Kurt. That's why we
I
had to
know.
go.
We gotta make sure they understand.
and guess what? Ralph has corrected me, and he's
You know what I'm
correct.
saying? I'm just saying they
When
be
I say
killing
me,
you.
like I'm not like I'm a slave
Right.
driver.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what?
Well, come work for us, the family. You know, like for instance, if you know how to do, you know, certain things, man, I'm gonna make sure that you turn into a business.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, have to worry about daycare and stuff like that, and you know, because daycare for me, I'm paying for daycare right now.
That's a business.
Man, daycare is like I used to pay $800 a month, and somebody might say that's just cheap.
Cause I mean, I done seen some brothers working. Some brothers working overtime just to pay for that.
Yeah. And both of them working, you know what I'm saying? You say to yourself, you know, it's time for you to start working.
It's time. It's time to we gotta make a decision in the house.
Consecutive decisions. It's time for you to start
Let
working.
me ask you a question, Kurt. You meet a young lady,
Boom.
and she already, you know, her career is going, or job. She's happy with what she does, but you are a provider.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want her to work for no one else. How do you handle that?
Well, I see what you're saying. I mean, it's not going to be abrupt, but we got to have a plan.
We gotta get you out of there.
Yeah. Got to get you out of there because after a while, you're going to come home dissatisfied.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And
It spills over.
Yeah, it spills over, man. And I mean, it's not for everybody, though.
That's real.
not for
That's real.
everybody.
I agree with you though.
You know what I'm saying? Because after a while, it takes a toll. People, like Kevin Samuel said that weight is built for shoulders, not hips. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get into
Let's
Kev a
get
little
into
bit.
Kev.
Let's get into
Yeah.
Kev a little bit.
Yeah, let's go in there. We just
First, rest in peace, of Kev.
rest in peace
sure.
to Kev, man. He just passed away. A lot of things I'm not liking about the circumstances around his passing. First off, a lot of people came out. I didn't read any of it. I didn't want to read it. Some black women. I don't even know. I'll just say women in general.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Women in general were almost rejoicing his passing. That's the first thing that I didn't like. Secondly, I saw this is the next day after they started coming up with the stories of how he passed. And his mom said this and this and that, and I was like, this dude ain't even got put in the bag yet. And y'all got all this stuff about his life, man.
Yeah.
Why is it that because he spoke his truths, which turned out to be a lot of essential truths, just a lot of people didn't like his delivery, that everybody wants to attack him or feel like this was a justifiable something to be celebrated?
This is true, man. One of the funny things is that I got a question for you all. Do y'all think black women hate gay men?
No.
You say no.
No.
Yeah, absolutely not.
But yet, they realize that men don't really get along with gay men. So hence they use
That's
the term.
that's an opinion.
Oh, yeah.
That's
But I'm saying generally,
that's a person. No, that's a personal opinion.
I'm saying generally, the concept is that men don't mess with gay men because they might be viewed as gay too. But my point is, here's my point. My point
You
is
mean
that
publicly? Because okay.
yeah, I'm saying like publicly, yeah. So do you see how women use calling him gay to attack us that follow him?
I'm gonna interrupt you and let you have it back.
What?
I've seen abundance of men call him gay. So I mean,
Yeah.
I can't just let you say women doing it because I see abundance of men, and you know why men did it? Because it was truth in what he said.
There was truth in what he was
See,
saying.
one thing I realized about this whole thing about Kevin Samuels, I look at Malcolm X, I look at Martin Luther King, I look at Huey P, I look at Harry Belafonte. When you don't agree with, if something hits you inside, it becomes the truth. You don't feel comfortable with somebody saying it. They generalizing it though. You just happen to grab it. You know, the young man say, if it don't apply, let it fly. You can't let it fly because it applies. So you took on this personal feeling of who are you to say that? I'm ducking that. I'm hiding that.
Right.
But that's your truth. You can't be mad at somebody that you don't even know you exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's just saying something that it resonates with you. Kevin Samuels said a lot of shit, man. Oh, go ahead, Kurt. Then I go without my little speech.
No.
Kevin Samuels said a lot of stuff. He said a lot of stuff. Some things I agree with on both sides because he hit men too.
Yeah.
He hit men too. Some things I didn't. What's the difference between him, Ivana? What that is, little show name? Ayana.
Vezant. Yeah.
That was What was the difference between her? What's the difference between? I mean, anybody that just get in front of a camera and give their opinion on the other gender, no matter how it comes out. What's the difference? Like, because now we have a man doing it. That's never happened like that when it came to the decisions as far as life. Yeah, we got men. You know, you can get on social media, see a man with a bunch of money. The money might ain't be real, and he be like, "You getting your bag today? I'm getting mine." That money might ain't be real. You know what I'm saying? But now you got a man hitting on situations that's real. What kind of man are you before you demand this from a woman? Are you a leader to even have the voice to even say this kind of stuff? Like, it was things like that he hit on about men that a lot of men didn't appreciate.
True.
It's hard to look in that mirror, man.
A lot of it. Let me get on this one. I think a lot of it stems from he created the quote unquote high value man. Somebody makes over 100,000 and this and that. So from that point, every guy that didn't agree with him it's like, I don't agree. He always talking about rich money and this and that. But his core principles were true. So if you and anybody that you don't like or don't know, you can still pull some truth out of that. So the brothers will use that as I don't listen to that dude. Or like you said with the gay thing, because of his mannerisms was real clean cut, tailored clothing, this and that, whatever. But then also on the other side of that, the black women, because it seemed like they made it look like he was attacking them. What people need to understand is he had a consulting firm where these people called in and asked for the truth. So if I tell Kurt to come in here and tell me, well, Sean, tell me, Kurt, tell me, how did I get the melanin in my skin? And you say, well, the sun it's burning, but it's automatically in your blood cells. And I was like, no way, man, that can't. No way, no, you got to be kidding me.
That's the voice you're gonna use?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
No.
Okay,
but he's telling me the truth.
Yeah.
And I pay him to come in here to do that.
Yeah.
But, because these people were coming in to hear the truth.
True.
So when people, and I was telling this to somebody the other day, which I think a lot of times with this show, don't sell because we talk the truth in here. And truth does not sell. But he was able to make that happen because it closely related to real life, dating, and just the way men carry themselves, men and women. I'm not just going to say men and women carry themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
And even in the group when I comment, I look for the insults first because I was going back to what I was saying about.
Yeah, you're strategic with your with your attack.
And the funny thing is that like I said, women have nothing against gay men, but they realize calling another man gay is an attack, and they will get other men to back them if like, hey, that nigga gay. Wait a minute, you know what I'm saying? But nothing against gay men at all. But my point is that using insults other than talking about the truth or the topic is something that women go to. Well, women and men go to first.
Absolutely. Look at Charleston White.
Yeah.
Charleston White been called a sellout so many times. Tell me Charleston White don't be talking that shit though.
Yeah. And his track record speaks for itself.
Yeah.
But you know one thing that he said that Camille Samuels used the same formula. Sometimes you have to say shit shock value. You have to say things for shock value.
Yep.
Then you get to the root of what you're trying to say because now you done brought them in. Now you can break it all the
Now I
way
can
back down.
break it down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that like even in the group they said, "I hope he don't got a daughter."
Somebody said that?
Oh yes, but I didn't take it personal because I knew that's the line
Somebody
of
said it to
attack. Yeah, they were like, "I hope he don't got a daughter," and I posted my daughter.
But
You know
that's
what I'm saying? But
I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah,
I
but
remember that.
my point is not to. I didn't feel. I didn't take it personal
because that's
because I know that's a line of attack.
absolutely
It's to insult me first,
right.
To degrade me. I remember. I have my next post. I'm gonna give everybody a preview of my next post. It's about women violence towards men. It's majority of the time is a proxy violence. What is proxy violence? That means that they use other men to commit violence towards other men.
Oh, okay.
Proxy violence.
Okay.
For example, like I said in the show, if you don't like something you said, she'll get another man to, get at you.
Right.
But that's my next post, everybody. But I'm
And
putting
he's
together.
talking about the Facebook group we have. If you're not on Facebook, go to Facebook.
join.
It's called Soundproof Hunger Room. You look it up, and it's very interesting, very good conversations, interactions going in there. But rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, man. I really hope his family come to terms with that, and he did what he was supposed to do.
No doubt.
Bottom line. Another thing we want to talk about, let's keep it on like the dating thing. What are some of the pros and cons in dating older versus dating younger?
Who will go first? I want to go first. I want to go first.
Go ahead.
I want to go first, man.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
And I'll speak from my age now. Because,
44.
I've always been attracted to older women. I didn't end up with one, but I always was attracted to older women because I was always the type that I liked somebody that already had their stuff in place. And I have an old soul also. My dad called me old man. That's his nickname for me, old man. So for me, it was I always connected better with older women as far as them having things in place, as far as the type of things that they wanted out of life, and generally speaking. Whereas when I would date younger women, first off, and I hate to be this guy, but if we don't listen to the same type of music, 9 times it's gonna be hard for us to kind of relate. And people think that's real. People think that's real crazy of me, real petty of me. But if you can't sit down and listen to some jazz, and I got to listen to all these Little and Youngs and
Littles and Youngs.
Littles and Youngs. It's gonna be a hard time. We're gonna have some hard time because we can't go to the same concert. We ain't going to the same concert. So for me, it was always I always liked older women or somebody that was within the same playing field as I am. I think anytime I went and dealt with somebody that was a lot younger than me, my interest level just wasn't there, and I always felt like they were looking up to me, as opposed to being on the same level as me. And I didn't like that. I didn't like somebody looking up to me, always looking to gain something from me, as opposed to us working, corroborating together on different things or having the same type of interest. So for me, I always liked dating older.
Copy that.
I've been posing this question to a lot of women this week, and the answers I've been getting is real interesting. on the woman side of it, I'm hearing that most younger women like to date older men before the stability. They not, they kind of settled. You know what I'm saying? Financially, a lot of us, despite what the internet says, a lot of us are okay financially to where you don't need them financially. So that's a
Right.
weight lifted off their shoulders that you don't need them. You know what I'm saying? On the man side of it, this is the interesting part. A lot of men say they date younger women because the trauma hasn't set in from life on younger women. Like she's not, and it's not in a way of to, use her and, corrupt her mind the way you need her to be. It's just that the fun in them because they haven't been through nothing. Or I ain't gonna say that. A lot of them haven't been through a lot of things to where they have this grudge put on them when it comes to dating. So you can have a lot of fun with younger women versus a woman that's your age. And I'm not saying you can't have, because I'm into older women. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I'm taking the women with Trump. I don't know. But they just saying that that's what it comes down to. Like, as you get older, you want life to be a little easier. And the only way a lot of men see it is they date younger women because they understand that a lot of these women are here for fun.
Let me ask you this, and I know you can't really speak for them, but do you feel that those guys that like to date younger like that, do they have a sense of I can kind of mold her, or because I hear the same argument with guys that go and date white women when they say, "Oh, she."
Yeah, but white women full of shit too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we ain't gonna make it seem like it's just black women out here. White women full of shit too.
Right, but a lot of times the whole stigma is they go date white women because they're so what's the word they use?
Weak. I use it. To date.
Submissive. They're very submissive. That's what they like to use. So, do you think that older brothers would date younger women because they feel like they can kind of mold them a little bit more or control them a little bit more?
I think it's just more easy going. I don't think it's about molding anybody. I think it's about some brothers just ain't shit. They'll get a young woman and might as well say he pimping her. I think it's just about they feel like with this younger woman, she's about fun. She's about a lot of up and coming things. You know what I'm saying? She's things like that versus an older woman. She's been through shit, so she might be kind of set in her ways, just like you as an older man. It's a lot of
giving play.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Where this is what I've been doing for the last 10 years. I ain't had no man in my life like this. So with that, I think that comes into play. It just all depends. Like all the older women that I've dated, they just like being around me.
Quality time.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say all that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that it's easy going.
Yeah.
I don't look for nothing from them. They don't look for nothing from me. But whatever illusion we created at this moment, because I think it's all a fucking illusion at this point. You know what I'm saying? Any moment you're in, it's an illusion. Enjoy it, because when you walk away from it, that shit don't even exist no more. I don't know if the Matrix got me fucked up right now. I don't know, but that's just how I feel.
What books you reading, brother?
You know what I'm saying? But I just feel like in some instances, I'm almost there, Kurt, but I'm a little.
No, take your time, bro.
I just think that the other decides what it is they want out of that other person, and they finding it, but they just finding it. He don't want to argue and all that shit to get a younger woman. Women don't want to be out here helping a rap career and all that. I always use rap music. God damn.
That's all you listen to.
Right. And I ain't all I listen to, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, so they date older men where he's pretty much more set in what he's gonna be. So they ain't got to worry about that aspect of him. All they got to worry about is making sure his ass don't die, or making sure he do die, so they can get on that paperwork. But I don't know. But
sadly enough, I agree with that.
Like, what you think?
What you got, Kurt?
Man, I'm listening to y'all. Y'all make
Kurt,
some,
like, yeah, but
I mean, no. Y'all make some great points and made me think about some things. You know what I'm saying?
I was told that, and this is my last one, Kurt. Younger women are fun, and I'm gonna say it just the way it was said to me. I said, dog, how you do it?
I'm tired.
He said, man, younger women are fun.
I'm tired.
And I said, okay.
Okay.
Shout out to who said that to me. That between me and them.
Yeah, and I got a story. but I'm gonna say my point first is that I was talking to this one female at work, and
Young lady.
pardon yourself, young lady, and
How's that a problem nowadays?
What's a female?
A woman is
That's not.
not.
No.
Break it down. For me.
It's in gender wise, it is a woman, but it's a woman of what? A dog is a female dog. A plant.
Okay.
okay. And what should I use again? Female.
I mean, just use.
I was just like
you use female. That's what you want to use. But I'm just saying, I'm gonna,
for show purposes, for sample room purposes, the young lady.
I mean, young lady, women.
I was talking to a
You know
young
what I'm
lady,
saying?
man, and she was about 40, and me being who I am, I was like, yeah, you got to date somebody that's 60. She was like 60. I'm like, yeah, because he gonna have enough patience for you.
That's real.
That's why old like women like older men, because we have patience for them. Because I want to say this, I'm gonna say it. Women lead a chaotic life. If not, I'm gonna leave it like that. They lead chaotic lives. So hence they date older men to
To calm it down.
just to understand,
even it out,
to
or to
even it
balance
out.
it?
Yeah, to
Give it
balance it.
balance?
Yeah, like to give them that old owl, that wisdom to them. Like,
You know
hey,
what? I agree with you on that.
Appreciate
I will
it.
agree with you on that.
Because that's why they date older men. So when she was like, I'm 40 trying to find a man, like, yeah, you got to date somebody at 60, because he be like this, all right, girl, how much is your bills? Oh, I got all that. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
The reason I agree with that is this: when you were 30, your mindset was of a 30-year-old. A woman is scientifically proved women mature faster than men.
we do. Yeah.
Could you see yourself leading anybody
Nah,
at 30 years old?
nah, for real.
Like, just to be real, I used to look at when I was in high school, these old dudes come to the school to pick up these young chicks.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, these old pedophile ass motherfuckers.
Yep.
But then I understood that, well, shit, he offers a different life than I do, because I still got to get on this bus
Right.
and get to the house. He came to school to pick you out.
Right,
Yeah.
so ain't nobody competing with him
You-
at the
you-
school.
you see
So
what I'm
I
saying?
ain't got to
I
be
ain't-
like, who was that you was walking down the hallway?
Right.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, go on, get in
I mean,
there.
you can look at it, and I hate to put it this way to use this analogy, but you can look at it, drug dealers. A lot of blue collar guys, they don't understand the life of a drug dealer because
Right.
they don't live it.
They don't live it.
But drug dealers, the way they spend money, especially when they not when they still trying to come up, they spend money a little more reckless than when they there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So to take you out and all that, he don't care about throwing that little money out there.
Right.
Right.
Versus a blue collar
Somebody
guy.
that's working. That's,
He realized what he did
in
for
there
a couple
clocking in,
dollars. He like,
clocking
wait a
out.
minute.
It's
now.
hard. Whereas
You know,
dope boy just throwing it
Like,
down. Come on, do your thing.
so it's.
Yeah.
I understand that, like what Kurt's saying, the experience when it comes to dating the other. Now, as far as older men dating younger women, I think, like you said, it is the patience. But I think it's whatever it is outside of the chaos that he loves. Like, he loves, and I ain't gonna say it like raising a daughter, that's disgusting, but he loves the fact that it don't take much to please her.
I'm still not over the chaos. The chaos.
I'm gonna let Kurt go back to that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't say that
can
shit.
you
Kurt
break
said
that down
shit.
for me?
Kurt said that. I ain't say that shit.
Now, for me, I would say a lot more variables.
Like, for instance, one of the reasons why the world target black women, because they are impulsive buyers. You know what I'm saying? They are the perfect customer for this world, because they would buy something. Well, anyway, my point of chaotic. Let me get back to that. But let me tell my story first. Can I get back to
Go
that?
ahead.
Yeah, 'cause I got something for that.
we
Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about when I go to the store and I see you. Let's go ahead.
Okay, my story about older men and women. Have y'all been to Vegas before? I think we all been to Vegas.
Yeah, I've
right?
been to Vegas.
Remember the first time you went to Vegas?
Yeah.
It was impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah, for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but it was impressive. Like, wow, look at this place. You know what I'm
hours.
saying?
Like, who paid a light bill of this?
Like, it was amazing. But after you went before, you kind of lived through that experience when somebody never been there. You take somebody that never been there, you live through their experience. Like, oh, look at that was the same way too. You're like, first got to Vegas. That's how it is dating a younger woman.
Right.
Sometimes you live through her first experiences and you kind of help them guide it through it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I
I
give
can
you
see that. I
Yeah,
can
that
see
ain't that ain't chaos. How you said it.
Oh no.
He hadn't addressed the chaos.
No, I tell my story first.
Oh, okay.
You know how Kurt, we gotta get through the maze first.
Right. Those was the pictures.
Right. Then with a picture, now let's get to what he talking about.
Okay, a chaotic life, man. It's like they've been told. Damn, I hate to generalize, but a lot of women been told or fed a fantasy all their lives that they should have certain things, man, and they do anything to get that fantasy, man. And I can only speak on my experience of being married twice. I've been married twice, and
I don't know if you should keep telling.
No, keep going, Kurt. Keep going. Don't let him get it out.
It's just that I've noticed that women, they lean towards chaos, man. It's like men are in my opinion are here to bring in a system, order, and structure.
Okay.
And women buck well, in my experiences, women buck those things, a system, order, and structure. They're like, I don't want to do that shit. I'm fine getting up right now. You know what I'm saying? No, we got to do this in order for this to happen. Why we got to do that for? You know what I'm saying? They're always bucking that, and they have a chaotic life. That's just on my opinion.
Let me ask you. Let me say something on the opposite side of that.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
What if I told you the chaos come because they're more feared than black men at this point in society?
Negative. And but make your point on that. When you say they're more feared, what do you mean by that?
I'm gonna give it right back.
Okay,
to
go ahead.
To add to that, I have a friend. She's older, but she's very well off in her job. And she was telling me how she gets tired, and she's one of the only minority women there. She said she gets tired of going to work, and every day she feels like the guys only say something to her if it's a sexual undertone, and they don't respect her intelligence and what she brings to the job. That's every day. So they fight battles every day that we don't even think about.
Okay.
So
Walking into a boardroom. I'm gonna throw this out here. Whoever is leading this meeting hasn't arrived yet.
Boom.
Everybody close their eyes, but us three, because I don't want to sit there with y'all three eyes. And just picture this. So whoever called this meeting ain't there yet. The boss ain't there yet. But the boss that walk in is a woman. She's a black woman.
Okay.
You immediately, and I ain't saying you do it on purpose, but you say, who this bitch? And then when she opens her mouth, you find out that's who running your company. It tests your manhood first. Because you like, who is she? And she doing all this. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? On that also, I've heard that I've been under black women leadership, and they are very more specific to what
They want.
the rules are.
Absolutely.
So then you have, and I hear this from other black women that work under those black women, oh, she doing too much. And sometimes they can overstep those lines to where, because they feel like they're in this position, I have to impose my will on you.
Let me come back to that. Okay, let me address that.
All right.
Same rules come from a white man. Y'all will do the shit, no problem. I ain't talking about y'all.
Right. Just overall,
But the
yeah.
same rules
You're right.
have come from a white man. You would do the job, no problem, no questions asked. But if a woman says it, I'm just gonna say a woman at this point.
Right. Right.
You feel like just because you a man, you got the right to question
it. Mm-hmm.
It's the same shit.
Good point.
And you know what comes into play then? Your machismo. If she be like, yo, I need you to put 50 bags in this cart. Let's say that. Let's say she just say that shit. The first thing you say is, can you put 50 bags in that motherfucker?
I wouldn't say that, but I see what you're saying.
But you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you, it's okay for you to challenge that. It's not okay, but that's just what happens to us naturally.
Right.
But if a man say the same thing, if he ain't no old decrepit motherfucker, you gonna be like, yeah, all right. You know what I'm saying?
And you make some good points in that.
Like I'm just saying, like women, if it's a fire, bro. I'm gonna say this, bro, and motherfuckers might not agree, but this is how I feel. I love being a black man. I love being the leader that I am. I respect what black women bring. I'm gonna say black women because that's who I'm talking to. What they bring to this world. I feel like if my house is on fire and I broke my ankle trying to come down the stairs, I couldn't make it. I think a black woman would come in for me first. She at least attempt to make that choice to come in for me first before a black man. I just feel that way, bro. One thing I've went through life and I've seen what it's like to need something. And this is my personal experience, so I'm only speaking for that. To need something. I ain't talking about wants, to need something. And a motherfucker I can drink with every day. Won't even suggest nothing. But somebody I can talk to every now and then, and it's a woman. The first thing she says is, do you need anything? When it comes to that chaos, man, they know how to deal with that shit, man. They know how to deal with it, Kurt.
I agree with you, Ralph. I agree with you. I've had instances.
The reason I say it, Kurt, is because they're more calmer when it comes down to it, Kurt.
Okay, now
They more calm because I can only speak for me. You know what I'm saying? Like even if it comes to a situation in the street, I think a woman to think faster about the outcome than a man. Cause we get mad, the first thing we could think of is handle that. Cause that's the machismo in us. But a woman might be like, nah, it ain't even that deep.
Oh, that's what.
Let's go.
That's what Jada did.
That's one woman.
That's one.
That's one.
We're talking about overall.
And to be honest,
Fuck it with
she didn't send well up there.
Nah.
I ain't sticking up for it. I think the whole situation is still come out in the movie eventually. But
that's a sidetrack. I apologize.
But yeah, when it come down to it, the protection they bring, bro, I that's why I can't date outside my race, bro. Cause the protection they bring, I don't think I'm gonna get that nowhere else. That's just me personally.
So, but you said that they are the most feared.
I think in the corporate world,
They are.
black women are the most feared because white men do not, and this is just me speaking, this ain't for the show, this is me. White men do not want to take order, direction from any woman, but they definitely don't want to take it from a black woman.
And why is that? You think?
You gotta look at history.
Because they don't respect their men.
Now look at history.
I mean, we're not respected as men in the white.
I'm saying that's the whole point.
I just think that when you look at through history and even through now, white men feel like they are the end and be all. They don't even respect, and I can only speak for how I see shit. They don't respect their own women,
right?
Let alone respect yours enough to take orders from her.
But that's now, man, I
give or be given direction from her.
I don't agree with the I agree with what you're saying, but I'm saying I don't agree with how they act. But that's the
who are they that they acted?
Well, the white man talking about.
Okay.
I'm saying that to understand the dynamics of power, though,
right?
And power only yields to what? Power. So if you look at the Arab world,
absolutely.
And let's say the Caucasian man know what time it is when he hit their soil.
It's different though, because that brings on violence.
But the thing is that they realize that
they can die.
Right. So that's you different. Bring that in America, you can't do that here.
You're not. It's not the same punishment.
You have to understand that there's a whole nother mind state that goes into that in another person's land.
Think about when you leave here. Let's say you go to China.
Mm-hmm.
You understand. It's real over here.
All right.
Discipline is real. Accountability is real. You come over here, man, you do it there you want to.
Right.
But let's look at our neighborhoods and how when certain young black men get outside of their neighborhood, they realize their power don't exist no more.
Absolutely. You're right about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that goes back to us being ancestors now, is that we don't control our neighborhood as men. The patriarchy is dead.
Right.
And the matriarchy is still new. And when you speak about black women being in charge, black women being in corporate America, but look at our neighborhoods. If they are in charge, look at our neighborhoods. But it's not their fault, it's our fault. Because we lost the patriarchy.
Let me ask you this, Kurt. Who runs a household? Let's say in a marriage, who runs a household?
Men.
How so? Let me ask you why. Okay. I'm gonna ask you. Well, go ahead and say why. Why does a man run a household?
Because he gives system, order, and structure.
Okay. Who cleans?
Okay, let's say she does. If she at home all day,
Who cooks?
let's say she does.
Who handles the childcare?
Let's say she does.
This is the household. What else is there left with the household? Who does your clothes?
I mean, right now, you mean in general?
In
In this situation,
in that situation.
a woman, yeah.
So who is that? The household? What else is there left with the household outside of cutting the grass?
Okay, who make decisions on what
Yeah,
get paid?
I'm about to say the same thing. Like I agree with Kurt on that.
Who makes decision on what get paid? Who drive? Who gets a car? Who don't get a car? Who what kind of cereal we buy? What kind of cereal we don't buy? What kind of
Okay.
couch we buy? We can afford.
Yeah,
What kind of couch we don't afford?
Let me ask you what's
I'm with
important
Kurt
to
on
you.
that.
What's important to you? Is it the couch or the cereal? Because she paying for the food. You ain't paying for the food. She paying for the food.
it depends.
And she has a job.
Is she paying for the food because she handing over the money, or is she actually paying for the food
She's
because
paying
she
for the
made
food.
the money?
She's paying for the and maybe I should have started off with more of a structure of the money, how the money is being done. Because now we're talking about financial aspects.
Yeah, okay.
If both of us have jobs, okay, and both of us are doing our manly, womanly duty, in a household, what is a man supposed to do outside of yard work or even just paying for that, which still comes down to money, trash, and car maintenance? What else is a man responsible for inside of the house? Now, when it comes, and I'm not talking about raising the kids because that's a whole nother, that's a cooperative thing.
System, order, and structure. He gives guidance, man. He prepared the future. He gives them like, hey, this is going. He gives the plan. Like some females, not all of the females. I'm like,
Women,
young ladies.
yeah,
Some young ladies said, I want my man to lead, and that's what counts.
that's it.
We give you direction, like not like, hey, do this, but like, hey, here's the dream. Here's the systems. How we gonna do it? The system order, the order we're gonna have in our house, and the structure. I'm gonna pay for everything, and you just, you do, not you do you, but here's the order we have here. And if men, in my opinion, if men ain't given system, order, and structure,
I agree.
It's chaos.
I agree with Kurt with that. The reason I say that is because y'all put up a post about it, and they was talking about cleaning clothes or something. Some of y'all was talking about. I was in Facebook jail. I couldn't comment. And some of the guys was talking about washing clothes or something. And some of the guys was like, I don't know, I don't take care of none of that. But I'm pretty sure, and I'm just gonna throw this out there like this way. It's been discussed on who was gonna do that, and I'm pretty sure the man said, I'm not doing it.
or I'm gonna need you to do it.
Or I'm gonna need you to handle this laundry. I'm gonna need you, and that's the direction, or what other words you use in that
System, order, and structure.
Yeah, I just think I don't have to technically, physically do something for me to lead. My words should travel just like my fist would. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I might beating on nobody. I'm just saying, but I just think what Kurt said, I agree with him 100% on that. I don't have to, like you said, who's paying for the groceries? If the money come out of my account, I pay for the groceries. You just went and got them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I look at that a little different. I think when it comes to a household, if a man has a voice in his household, he leads.
Let me ask you this. In this household that you speak of, say you decide I'm having my homeboys over tonight. We all hanging out, we drinking, we doing whatever, we kind of loud. Your lady come downstairs, hey babe, it's a little late. Can y'all tone it down a little bit? You gonna be like, I run this.
That's courtesy though. I think that's that's courtesy, bro. That's respect. That ain't got nothing to do with who running the household. That's just respect and courtesy.
Yeah.
But it also has to say that usually, like, and I'm speaking from experience, when there is something, like I said, all of those small things like cleaning, cooking, laundry, all of those things, and like you said, if you had to come in and say it, if you had a woman that just came in and did those things, with everything else, like if she said, well, can I decorate this way? Can I do it that way? Can I do it this way? Would you care as much if she wasn't doing these other things versus if she's taking care of everything else?
Say that again.
Yeah, I was kind of lost on that one.
Okay, to simplify it, if she takes care of the small things, when she wants to take initiative within the household to change just the decor, would you allow her to?
Oh, she in charge of decor because I really don't care how I look.
Yeah, that comes down to how you feel about that. I
So
just
this
like
is-
to and to use the word allow. That's
Oh yeah, that's a Curtis Clay thing right
yeah.
there.
That's a little.
So this
See,
is
he said it, not me.
this
He
is
said
what I mean
allow.
when the household. So when I say, and I still stand against y'all, not against, but on the different side of y'all. For me, in the household, I really don't care. You know what I'm saying about.
you don't care about the minor things.
I don't care about the minor things. I do care about, okay, if we say we're gonna work towards this, we working towards that.
Right.
But when I say household, I mean in the sense of controlling the house. Like if she say, "Oh, don't wear your shoes in here," I'm not gonna wear my shoes in there. You know why? Because she's vacuuming.
Is that control or is that just courtesy?
No, that's more control. Because before she was there, you probably was walking around in your shoes all through the house.
But I'm pretty sure if you decided to walk through the house with your shoes on, she might be frowned up. But it's either you gonna abide to what she said, or she just gonna. Women usually be like, I ain't even dealing with that shit no more. It is what it is.
But if she's taking on a cleaning aspect that you didn't care about before, now she's taking on a job that you already said, well, I don't care, so I'm still going to do it.
Yeah, but you took them off because you didn't want to clean. You didn't take them off because, you felt like she was in control. You just didn't want to clean.
Well, I wouldn't say she's in control, but I've
Them
given her.
Them the
I've
words you
given-
used though.
Did I say the control?
You said
I
who's
did?
controlling the household.
Oh, yeah. In that case, yeah. You got me, brother.
Hey, guess what? To go back to something that you said about the boardroom and and the black women.
Kurt, for real?
No, real quick.
That was 30 minutes ago.
Right.
Kurt.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But quick side note. I'm gonna bring up the subject of the threat of violence.
Okay.
Real quick.
Some women
Kurt.
don't. Okay, some women don't understand that they talk to men because they realize there's no threat of violence.
Right.
Because you can go to jail for that.
Right.
And for example, if me and you, let's say you was in charge,
Okay.
even though you in charge, you're gonna talk to me in a certain way
Absolutely.
because it's a threat of what?
Of violence.
Violence.
Absolutely.
And some women that's in charge don't realize that. That
Kurt, but you be saying that shit like majority, like you know that.
for example, what do you mean?
Like you saying like some women, like for hear you say some women, I heard all women. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't saying you saying it.
No, because when all our experience, when my experience, when women are in charge, they forget the decorum. They break from decorum when they're in charge.
Some men do the same thing.
And guess what? There's a threat of what?
Same with women.
Losing your job.
Violence.
Same with women.
What?
I don't know about violence with the men.
He don't
I
mean
think it's-
violence in the state of the physical aspect. He just saying it's gonna be
I mean, like for instance, when a woman is fed up, she gonna speak her mind, throw insults and everything.
right.
And a man can be like this. Okay, I take that.
Not all men. Some men start that shit, Kurt.
You mean we say start that? You mean like start?
They start off they feeling the same way and they talk that shit.
Yeah, but that must be a man got nothing to lose because we have things to lose. I mean, at least I do.
Anybody with nothing to lose, Kurt. Like you ever been pulled over with a clean license?
What you pull me over for, homeboy?
But you been clean over? You been pulled over with a dirty license? How can I help you today, officer?
How you doing, sir? What do you need?
Like-
What did I do?
Like, I'm just saying, like that.
Yeah.
That comes with some people will put I guess they'll put it all on the line. I guess I'll say it that way. I've been in a situation, Nickel City Bundy, but my bad, I ain't said that in so long. Nickel City Flex been in a situation where we put it all on the line. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing what tomorrow was too far away. So right now, we put it on the line. We didn't know what was gonna happen at the end of that. Fighting for people that we didn't even know their name. Against people that decide, yo, you either here, I could let you go today. So I mean, I think that just comes down to who you are as a person to decide what's to lose. Because some people they rather lose it, Kurt, than to hold on to it. So they at that point they ain't got nothing to lose.
I stand down.
Yeah, they ain't got nothing to lose. I've been in a situation, man, where it was either go through this or just lose it all. I won by letting it all go. So I ain't had nothing to lose. But I had to get it off my chest.
Right.
You have too.
course.
You know what I'm saying? So I just think I don't think that's a gender thing. I work with a lot of hoe ass niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be honest. And some of them is managers. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like they got this little power. You know what I'm saying? They can talk to you any kind of way. But then when you come to them in a way of challenging their intellect, because one thing I've learned, an intellectual man at our job can go nowhere because that ain't what they looking for.
That ain't what they looking
You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100.
Don't ask me no more. I ain't gonna be no supervisor.
Like,
no
that's
manager.
just real.
It's not
You know,
happening.
so what happens is they use in our profession, it's a shiny vest to get them through whatever they want to do.
Yes, man.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. And it's up to you to decide what you gonna do. But what I also had to learn, as long as you don't cuss, oh man, you can go all day.
You can go.
As long as you don't cuss, man.
I agree.
You know, I just think when it comes down to it, man, I do think women feel like they gotta make sure they take a stand against men. I will agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
But is they wrong for that?
Nah, it's the same thing as us standing against white folk.
It's decorum. You got, at times you can't break decorum.
I do agree with that because I sometimes it comes out their pores. You be like, words like you had to be that rough with it. I get it. So I do understand that. I just
Decorum.
like you said. I guess I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying,
like Jay-Z.
But we the same thing with men though. We the same way with men. We the same way. And I hate to keep saying this, but it's real. White man can do the same shit to you, man. You ain't gonna say nothing.
Well, not me personally.
I'm not talking about you personally.
Yeah,
I'm saying in general. White man can say the same thing. You ain't gonna say shit.
You know, it's a great point you made. That I look at Mav Hoffa.
Math Hoffa.
Math Hoffa.
Shout out to Math Hoffa.
Mav Hoffa. Yeah, I
We
look
gotta
at his
throw that up there.
podcast. I love his podcast. But he had a guy Hassan.
Okay, we ain't about to use him.
Anyway,
I know you talking about.
But he made a great point.
Hassan Campbell.
He was talking about how when these rappers they go to the West Coast and they got to check in. He said, but we got all these white people in music, and they come to the hood. Y'all don't make them check in.
Let me explain that though. When it comes to that situation, your safety is different. You kill and I'm gonna say this, and it's just how I feel. Nobody can agree with me at this table, but it's how I feel. You kill a white man in the hood, they coming to find out.
Of course.
You kill a black man in the hood.
Nobody listens.
You know what I'm saying?
Sprinkle some crack around.
You know what I'm saying? Right. We still don't know. We're gonna say what kind of murder it was. And when it comes down to that, who you are as an artist determines your check-in status.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I'm saying? You're not somebody that's a backpacker having to check in with nobody. Hell, they don't listen to your music no damn way. But if you somebody that puts it out there that you all about that life, blah blah blah,
and that's the point.
You better check in with somebody
if you about that life. Or you talking about.
I don't know where you're from, but you need to realize where you at.
Yeah,
true.
Like we all take trips places, and we might put it out in the area at work and be like, yo man, I'm going over here, man. They be like, oh, go see so and so, he from there. You going to see him. Hey man, I'm going over here with my girl, man. Like, where I need not to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the conversation that had. No, you ain't touching down going to find Big Mello to say, yo, I'm in town. Big Mello gonna be like, who are you, first of all? You know what I'm saying? But I tell people anytime they go to Detroit, who you know from Detroit.
Yeah.
If not, don't go.
So is that just kind of like our real sense of checking in?
Yeah,
talk to the people.
Yeah, we talk to
from
people
there.
we know. Yeah, it's the same thing. Man.
Okay.
Let's get out of here though. I got some.
Yeah, I was finna say we pushing and pushing.
All right, appreciate it.
Kurt.
Man. Thanks for coming.
Always a pleasure, man.
Thanks for the invite, everybody.
Hey,
Yo, man, you can come back when you want to, dog. I stand tall for
But
you,
I
brother.
say, people don't realize you've always been behind the scenes with
Yeah.
us, and we appreciate everything you do for us, man. So anytime you want to get
Appreciate
on
it,
the
man.
mic,
Appreciate it. I'm on vacation for the whole. I'm retired for a month.
Hey, enjoy it, brother. Enjoy it.
Good luck, bro, because I've been broke by now. I be spending money when I'm out.
But look here, system, order, and structure, man. Get a system in place, get some order, and get some structure in your life, man. And that woman will show up, or maybe not. Maybe she won't. I don't know.
Oh, I feel you. That's how you feel.
System, order, and structure.
Yo, I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to every mother
Damn, we've got that topic
out
too.
there. I mean, we can cut the mic real quick.
No,
You sure, Kurt? Okay.
We gotta go. But
Yeah, I
no
did
mother's
forget
gifts.
about that.
If you're a great mother, this for you. If you ain't, you can get better. I'm living proof of that. And I love her to death because she got better. You know what I'm saying? But you know, happy Mother's Day to you as well.
For sure.
You know, I don't want no dude out there talking about some Mother's Day for me too. I take care of my kid. Yo, and if you a man with kids, man, they don't live with you. They live with the mother. You ain't gotta run out and buy her no bag. At least let her know.
Get us some.
You ain't gotta get her nothing. At least let her know you appreciate what you doing for her and her kid and y'all kids, man. It ain't all about what you put in her hand. It's about what you put in her heart.
True. I like that.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Happy Mother's
He ain't got no
Day.
kids.
Guess what?
He ain't got
Happy
no
Mother's
kids.
Day.
And next month is Father's Day, not Happy Bitter Mother's Day. You know what I'm saying?
Kurt, we gonna leave on
Slow
positivity.
down.
We
Slow
gonna leave on
down.
positivity here.
Hey man, we appreciate
You're right,
y'all
yeah,
coming
yeah, I
through.
apologize for that.
Subscribe on YouTube, Soundproof Hunger Room, like Facebook, Spotify. What else we on? Instagram. Soundproof Hunger Room.
And just a FYI, Facebook is shutting down their podcast area, so
Wow.
you might not have seen this show on Facebook,
Yeah.
but it is on YouTube. We still looking into that to see what's going on. Enjoy y'all day, man. We out here.
One.
Peace. All right, fellas, man. Great.